Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Cloudy Sheep, and we are playing Command: Modern Naval and Air Operations. Um, we just started our game. Basically, we are 5 minutes into the scenario, Canary Cage here, where we are trying to get the Canary Islands down here back again from some Islamic Northern Africa um, sort of lines going on over here. We already set up our game, looked at our resources. We identified that there are a couple of ships down here, even though our information here is about 4 minutes old. But just now we also realized that there are some planes that started from here. It's two planes traveling at 350 knots. So I'm fairly certain actually that these guys probably are enemies, just with these pattern of two units traveling around about there. We do have a flight of F-18s coming in over here from our Spanish Air Force. They're loaded with 6 AAM AMRAAMs over here, which have a decent range, I would say. An active seeker, so these are fire and forget weapons with active terminal guidance here. So it's basically these guys are launched, and then on the last couple of miles over here, they will come in on their own. We also have a flight here of 4 more F-18s coming in as a sort of a backup. And because I'm not that happy with just 2 Hornets here fighting against 2 enemies, I also just gave the order at here, Moron. Where is it? Moron, please. For 2 more units here to launch, and they'll be doing that in about 2 minutes. There's also an Intel ELIN surveillance guy over here that will come along and just help with our 2 fleets over here. Things are starting to become a bit messy as our fleets over here send out their helicopters, guys like this, which is basically an anti-submarine warfare unit, and which has Mark 46 lightweight torpedoes and some capacity to detect stuff that's basically going around. I'm not entirely sure whether you should be using your radar, but right now you are. So yeah, I think it will be fine. We also have in this group over here, and just ignore all the clutter for now, we have these helicopters that are going on an anti-submarine warfare job over there. We do have helicopters that provide stuff like airborne early warning. I just started the game again. Oh, wait a minute. I think I actually want to turn this down significantly, because that tends to be way too loud. And there's no in-game ability to do that. So let's see how things are going on over here. We can see that these guys are still climbing. I'd guess that they probably end up at sort of the same altitude as we are. We are going for probably 36,000 feet, so normal flight altitude. Though I'm not sure what type of planes they could be. At 350 knots, it's really hard to tell. No news down there, so I think maybe we can speed it up a tiny bit. By the way, you can also see that we are losing information on these guys every now and then, and that I think is because of this radar, which basically does this sort of pattern where it circulates and updates every couple of seconds. Well, we can certainly look at that over here. I think it should say that, yeah, it does have about a 15 seconds information relay over there. While we are waiting for things to turn out, I think we should start to set up a new mission over here. So again, just define area, because I find that the most convenient, and I think we'll be sort of looking at this path over here and see if we can find out any information about submarines over there. So that's a nice area over here. We will add a mission to that. Sorry, just add a new mission to that, and this is going to be our ASW patrol Orion, and of course we want this to be a patrol pattern. ASW, yeah, that looks fine, and we'll basically put take our Orion craft over here, assign it to the mission, have a flight single, 1/3 rule. Yes, that's looking very, very good. But I only want you to use active emissions inside that patrol pattern, and we will set up. There's a new contact, so we'll deal with that in a second. But I don't want you to be using radar. Yes, but I do want you to be using sonar, pretty please. Okay, looking good. I think that's fine, and we should probably soon see one of the Orions starting there. Let's look at this new boogie over here, boogie 28. Our 2 new Hornets have launched. Let's pick them up and send them over here. Should be good. There are new boogies coming in. This guy is traveling towards our guys over here. So to be honest, here, Group Alpha, I want you to where's MCON? Well, basically, you guys can use active radar now. That actually tells us a lot. So the moment we light these up, we can see that there are a lot more planes in the air. These guys really, I think you... Sorry, hostile is maybe a bit bad, but unfriendly certainly. So what have we got here? Let's look at this for a couple of seconds. So again, a flight of 2, even though it's hard to tell. These are 2 planes. They are traveling pretty fast, as are these guys. They're also pretty high already. Sorry, just had to interrupt there for a second because some other stuff intervened. Right, so I was saying these guys are looking somewhat weird. These guys down here are so fast, I suspect that they are fighters. Whereas these guys over here, I'm not too sure. This guy is actually pretty fast, or relatively fast. This guy here, on the other hand, not so much. I mean, he just started. He's not that high up already. You can see that we detected him at about 4,000 feet, which probably is due to this mountain range and basically the height of this guy and the height of that range. So we couldn't really spot him earlier. These guys we can now see. So that actually to me means maybe launching the mission to do some anti-submarine warfare over here might be a bit too early. I think with the fighters down there, that might be a bit too risky. So I'm going to pull that back quite a bit. So we will scan the immediate area up there, where we'll have some cover from the rest of the fleet, but not much beyond that. So that's, I think, pretty good, but also with the amount of air stuff going on, I think it makes sense to actually launch the rest of these guys. So launch these guys as a group, launch these guys as a group. The Harpoons here, I mean, they do have AMRAAMs on them, but right now, without having a ship spotted, I think it doesn't make any sense to launch these guys. Stuff over here should be going relatively well. Tankers I don't think we'll need, probably we'll be shooting very, very soon, so that makes sense. I just restarted the game. These guys are moving towards that direction. You are very likely unfriendly. Can we actually mark more than one of you? Okay, so here we go. This active radar really helped us cover that, but of course it means they do definitively know that we are here now. But to me that I think is fine. What's up? Let's have a look at this submarine down here. It is very probably very close, and I'm not sure how much I like that. We do not know anything about its height or anything. Let's just briefly make sure that these guys, the torpedo here, can actually be launched at so it can be launched from nearly 400 meters down, which is not quite where we are. So if push comes to shove, we could launch it pretty much immediately. Things here seem to be going quite well. We haven't really come close enough yet, so I'm gonna speed up time a bit here. Wait. So these guys, we can get a contact report here over here. We paused. Excellent. So we do know this is the radar that they've been using. Oh, stop. And we do know now which unit that refers to. It's a Falcon over here from the Egypt Air Force. So an F-16. Pretty close, I would say, to our own fixed-wing aircraft. It's a dedicated fighter, though not quite as big, I believe, as the F-18. And we can see here that this is basically their sensor suit. And these are their internal guns. These are the possible weapons that they can carry. And of course, we are pretty much looking at the Mavericks. That's pretty similar. I mean, these are anti-ground units. So we are looking at the Sparrows. So basically, we're looking at anything that can target aircraft, which are either Sparrows or Sidewinders. We don't know which one they do have. Of course, we just know which one they principally could carry. This one has a range of 55 nautical miles. This one of only 10. So this pretty much just a Sidewinder. I think we have them as well. But the Sparrow 3 here is much more dangerous. Typical loadout of the Sparrow would be a 2 Sparrow kind of configuration. And I think I want to look at the AIM-7M Sparrow over there. So we can look that up. Unfortunately, it's not linked, so we have to look at that from over here. AIM-7, no, I might have been too far. AIM-7, Sparrow 3, 7M, Sparrow 3, so this one. This is a missile that we will be facing. Range of 55 nautical miles, yes, sensors, semi-active radar homing, so that's an important information over here. This basically means that the aircraft itself has to illuminate the target while the weapon is only looking for that beam. So basically that importantly means that if we kill the aircraft while the missile is in the air, it will probably die. So this is very crucial, very high speed. So we can't run away from it, but I think we are capable of up to 950 knots, so maybe pretty good kill probability or hit probability, which usually results in a kill. And yeah, that is basically the target. 55 nautical miles. Again, let's look at our aircraft here, which carry the AMRAAM, which has a lower range. That's not good. So they probably outrange us, even though we have a slightly higher kill probability. They will probably get the first shot. Ours are a bit quicker. So that will be a bit dangerous. I'm slightly worried about that. This guy hasn't sent off any mission yet. Oh yeah, he did. So okay, so this, yeah, as I kind of expected, it's so slow. It must be sort of not a fighter aircraft. it's an early airborne warning craft. So this really is an important enabler. Has a big radar range, big passive radar range. So that's basically something that we would really, really like to kill. And doesn't have any weapons on it to speak, not even sort of close defense. So this will be a high priority target, definitely. These guys down there, I don't yet know. We don't really have new information anywhere here, which is slightly beginning to worry me. 10 minutes is a long time to not get any information about the enemy. You are very likely unfriendly. You know what? Actually, we can definitely tell you are hostile. You two, and you two, because you'll just probably be a combination of two F-16s. These guys will be the first that get into contact with these guys down there. And I think right now it's sensible to look at our doctrine window over here. Tide only fired positive contacts. Yes, that all seems fairly likely. Ambiguous targets. I think we'll be optimistic here. That means we expect that the enemy runs into us, so we'll fire at maximum range, pretty much. This isn't relevant right now. Weapon, yes, that all looks good. Withdraw and redeploy. Withdraw, no, that's all fine. Do we want to shoot only one round or multiple? I think this is usually a very fine setting. We can also use them. Standoff, yes. Strafing, no. So this basically tells us if you do get fired upon, you can just drop everything if you're under attack. But that's not something that we'd want to do right now. I'm looking for basically the ability to just close in with the enemy even when you are under fire, but I think that should work. You can also see that this sort of radar contact here has sort of a cone. And the reason we saw it only briefly probably is because the aircraft turned around a bit. No, it's actually turning now. So this is only active when it's in the front. Let's again pause because a lot of stuff is happening. Boogie has been classified as Hawkeye. Yes, we kind of knew that already. Alright. So these guys are moving away from us. I think I'll be a bit braver here than expected. Just follow up with you. So we have these guys nice and close together. I think it's sensible to move in with a lot of speed over here. You, on the other hand, need to be a bit closer. And this is still a bit loud. These guys are moving in to that anti-submarine warfare exercise over there. This guy is really hard to pin down. We really have no idea where he is, so I think I'm going to tell this submarine to go just under the layer for a second, because maybe that's where he is, and that's why we can't find him that well. Though I probably think you are unfriendly. I don't expect there to be many neutral submarines around in a combat zone. Okay, things are going in well. First 10 minutes. So we identified quite a bit about the enemy contacts over here, and I think that's very fine for the first 20 minutes. I think we have about 5 more minutes for this episode, so I think we'll... more Hornets? Did I launch more Hornets? Oh yeah, sure. I actually did. So yeah, just please join the fray. So that's basically everyone from down there. The fighters down there. Wait. Things are going too quickly. Okay, so we do have Radar. Range only. Okay. We do know that these guys are Falcons now. These guys are mobile units, so there's something on the ground there, but we don't know what. Wait, pause. This is okay down here, but here we have much better information now. So we do know where it's traveling. We don't know its depth, which is a bit unfortunate. But that's certainly going to be very, very, very interesting. Again, this guy here is something on the ground, some ground unit, probably anti-air or some sort of radar. So we'll have to see about that. You can also see that this is the anti-air range of ourselves, and this is a sort of probable anti-air range of them, and the air detection range, or what is it? No surface weapons, so yeah. We're also very worried about that, truth to be told, but not quite now. So what can we do here? You are traveling in that direction. So new contact is designated. So more mobile units up here. Yeah, somewhere. So they've we are detecting them basically by their radar emissions. Pause. Oh no. We still don't know more here. Honestly, you need to stop, I believe. So you can listen a bit better. And of course, it still has some momentum, so it's traveling. But please go just over the layer. Layer is pretty thick, but we'll see. Maybe that will help. We are losing information about these guys, which is a bit of a pity. I think these guys are turning into towards our helicopters over there, which is certainly very interesting. So they probably spotted our group Delta over here. They might or might not be in the in maybe a Harpoon configuration. So we don't know. Maybe they are going to attack our units. Speed up time a bit, just to see. I don't want these guys to. I'm thinking about having these guys run slower. Oh, actually, there's another flight over there. Please do come down. Right. But so I could have these guys run slower just so the other guys can catch up. But right now, I think that's not necessarily a great idea. 4 seconds since we last saw this guy. 50 seconds. 15 seconds. Just where are you? Just where? You're also changing course a bit. You're creeping me out. And accelerating. We could go active on our sonar and that would confirm its position much more. But then again, that might ultimately not be very useful. So here we go. More time. Going on. As soon as I know how deep it is running, I think I want to attack it. Pause. Okay. Wait. Pause is it? Okay. We do have some new contact information about skunk whatever, which is this guy over here, commercial fishing boat. So that's not a danger. That's fine. These guys are now trying to get that down there, which I think you don't really want to do that, guys. But maybe that's fine. These guys are certainly hostile down there. Speed things up a bit, and let's see. Neutral, yes. And now these guys have turned north. Maybe they found us. Do you know more about you? Do not. Just try to intercept it. Okay. These guys are closing in towards each other, so I am guessing that they spotted us, that they will probably be trying to make an attack run over here. And we are at a range disadvantage, so I'm curious to see how that will go. But with this standoff, I think wait a minute, we will tell these guys to go to military speed a bit up here, so just bump up speed. These guys, I think for now, we'll tell them to be a bit slower, just so they don't close in quite as fast, and they get these guys to catch up a bit, and then we will have them just really sprint up to them and try to shoot them down before they can kill us with a range advantage. That being said, I think we'll have to wait until next time, and I'll leave you with a bit of a cliffhanger here and the shoot-off. I'm pretty confident that next time we will be starting to launch our first missiles. So, thank you guys for watching, and to see you guys next time.